So, the definition of power is the ability to do something or act in a particular way. The definition of power is the ability to do something, act in a particular way, or the capability to direct or influence a behavior or the behavior of others. I want y'all to hear that. The capability to direct or influence the behavior of others. And then the third definition is to move or travel with great speed or force. To move or travel with great speed or force. Now, thank you for my power. How many of you all feel like you have the ability to do or act in a particular way? Who's got power here? Okay. How many of you feel like I'm powerless? And let's just be candid here, because it is what it is. Some people feel powerless. Okay? All right, you won't feel like that before we're done. Okay? How many people feel like they have the capability to direct or influence the behavior of others? Okay. Now, sometimes that can be not so good. So I want you to watch that, powerful women. Okay? The third thing is to move or travel with great speed or force. Who feels like they can move or travel with great speed or force? Anybody? Okay, and only 2 people? What's up with that? 3? Some people are tired. Is that what it is? Okay, all right, y'all. Okay, I'm the third session. I know it. But y'all gotta move with great speed, because when you leave here, I want you to leave with power. So if Linda put me last intentionally, it's to give you all some power. Okay, all right, so here we go. All right, so who's got my number 2? 2? Where's 2? Who's 2? Stand up, 2. All right, what is 2? Connection. Okay, so what I want to talk about connection is who you connect yourself. The first thing was power, and I told you what power was, right? So the second thing is connection. Now, there's a connection between these here. This is your source box, this is your switch, and this is your hot or your plug in, your socket, okay? So the connection. Somebody tell me what it means in power terms to have a connection. Somebody tell me that. Anybody? Yes, ma'am. You need to have a source, okay? What else about connection? Who you are? Yes. Yes. Positive energy. How many of you all feel like sometimes I'm not around people who have positive energy? All the time. All the time, okay. So what do? Do you connect with them? Wow. Someone says, clap your hand. All right. I want to tell you that part of the reason that you keep your power is because you need to make sure that you are connected to positive people. So that in itself means, too, you need to be powerful and you need to have positive energy, right? So if you're walking around like this all the time, with your head down, feeling sorry for yourself, that's not powerful, is it? And that certainly means that other people may not want to connect to you, is that right? So the second thing is not just power, but connection, right? Okay, third thing. Current. Current, okay. What would current have to do with power? Somebody tell me. Flow, okay, flow's coming in there. That's good. But someone tell me specifically current that you might think of in addition to flow. Because flow's by itself. Current.
How it conducts itself.
Okay, how it conducts itself. Now, interaction, that's good. Interaction. And in line with interaction, I'm going to say this now. Current I used in a different way, and that is now. Ready to get that? Now. And I'm going to say that in 2 ways. One, somebody was talking about they lost their mom. I think it was you. Who was it that lost their mom? Was she gone? The person was gone. Okay, so she's gone. Somebody else was talking about grief and that kind of thing. And what I wanted to stand up to say to them, which I didn't, was time heals all wounds. Sometimes you can't do it except to let it have time. But I do want to say to you, in reference to the current piece, one is interactive, but the other is you have got to live in the now. I don't care what you did yesterday. I don't care what you did yesterday or 5 years ago. You need to live in the now. Is that right?
Yes.
She's having an epiphany right here.
it's just confirmation because I've been trying to plan and do all this and think about things that haven't even happened. And so at the end of the day, God's like, look, I don't know how many times you want me to say it or how many people.
Live in the now. Okay, everybody tell her, live in the now. Right, now she knows, right? Very good. Okay, so when you get ready to leave, you know I'm happy to say that, right? Okay, so just know.
Shay, what did you get? I need to live in it.
There you go. Okay. All right, awesome. All right. So for those of you who are feeling like, man, I messed up. I didn't pay this off. I didn't get this relationship right. I said the wrong thing to that person. That's what? In the past, right? So what are we going to do now? Oh, I heard that. That was so weak.
Live in the now.
Thank you. All right, live in the now. Okay, what's next in our current? Flow. Okay, what's flow? Somebody tell me what the flow is.
Unhindered movement.
Ooh, I like that. You know what? I'm going to use that. She said unhindered movement. I like that. And doesn't that make you want to get your neck moving? You know, like, see, I don't know how to do that. I went to all suburban schools. So I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm really trying. I'm still trying to get this southern thing about, what is it? I'm not studying you? What's that? Sorry. I'm just transparent, y'all. All right. So, what was the word? Okay. All right. Uninhibited movement. Is that right?
Unhindered.
Unhindered movement. Okay, I like that. I'm going to take that. Now, I like that because that goes exactly with what it means in terms of restoring your power. And that is, you have to have unhindered movement. All right, so I need a couple of volunteers to come up real quick for me. Somebody come up real quick. I need 4 people. Quick. Because you have to have unhindered movement, right? Right. Okay. All right, so I need you all to stand in line here, just like this. Okay, turn face me. Okay. So if you're fine. You're fine. It's like, okay, great. Okay. All right, so if I'm moving, right? And I'm trying to move out, I'm trying to move into where I'm going. This looks like an obstacle, doesn't it? So that means I've got to break through some things. So this means I'm powerful, right? How many of you all know now you're powerful? Even if you don't believe it yet, you know. Okay, even if you don't believe it, you're powerful? Okay, just want to make sure. All right, so here I am, right? My speaker, I'm so loud. You guys pray for my mouth. Okay. All right, so if I'm unhindered movement and I'm a flow, then I'm doing this. I'm going to move out of my way. I'm going to move out of my way. I'm going to move out of my way. I'm going to move out of my way, right?
Nice to me. I was talking about.
So that's what you have to do. If you're powerful, and don't get me wrong, the way you do it makes a difference. Okay, I'm not saying step on people. That is not the way to do this. But what I am saying is, you have to be focused enough to be able to have a flow and know, you guys come back together, that there will be obstacles to you getting to your most powerful you. And that means you've got to move it out of the way. But you can gently move out of my way. Because you know I'm coming. Because you know I'm not going to let you stop me. Oh, what makes you just move? What number are we on? 5. Who's got 5? Okay, what are we? Light. Okay, that's interesting that you would have light. I love that. I love that. All right, because light and darkness. Light. Now, when I'm up here, one of the things that I want to make sure of is that I want to be different than everybody else. I'm going to tell you, that's just me. I'm not going to do it like you. I have no desire to do it like you. I've got to do it like me, right? So that means, what am I? I'm light. And in this light was a small thing when all that darkness was, well, it's small right now, but when it was dark, wasn't it pretty big? Yeah. So you have to realize that no matter what you are doing or who you are around, you have to be the what? Light. You have to be the light. So many times do what everybody else does. Let me get my hair like hers. Let me get my nails like hers. Let me carry the purse that she has. You have to be the light. And one of the things that hinders us as women, as we try to compare ourselves, there's not one woman in here that doesn't do it. Man, I wish I had her house. Man, I wish I had her hair. Man, I wish I had her money. Man, I wish I had her relationship. Man, I wish I had her job. Man, I wish I had her body. Man, I wish I had her complexion.
I wish I had your energy.
But you know what? Give me a second. And you too can have my energy. I love it. See? Does she have energy? But guess whose energy she has? Now she could stand up here beside me, but she had her own. Is that right? So, I want to remind you all, would you just stand up for a second? Stand up for me. Stand up for me. Okay. Do you see these two ladies' hair?
Yeah.
Look at how different they are.
Yes.
Are they light?
Yes.
Are they light?
Yes.
Okay, and we just Now again, all I'm saying is, you may not want to have extreme hair, but it may be your smile that's light.
Yes.
It may be your mind that's light. It may be your energy that's light. Whatever it is, you choose something that makes you shine. Okay? And you will find through that what turns you on, but I guarantee you, someone is going to gravitate to you, just like she did.
Yes.
I wish I had your energy. I love that, because that means I'm doing something different than everybody else did. Did anybody else? Did any other speaker? Don't get me wrong, they were all wonderful, awesome speakers. But did anybody else come up and dance with them? It's because we're all different. We're all different. Okay, who's going next number? All right, 6. What's 6?
Overload.
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 Overload. All right, let's talk about that for a minute. How many of you feel like sometimes you're overloaded? Okay, see, more hands than anything when I'm there. Okay? Now what happens? I want y'all to picture a power strip here, okay? Picture a power strip. When you put lots and lots and lots of plugs in it, what happens? It loads. Right, you short circuit, right? Okay, so what do y'all ooh, wee. Everybody, all right, we're almost done. Okay, all right, so if you've got lots and lots of plugs in, right? You overload and you short circuit. What happens in the natural if you're overloaded? Somebody tell me. Someone said mental breakdown. What else happens? Stress. What happens with mental breakdown and stress? Sickness. Okay, disease. Dis-ease. Dis-ease. Not just disease, but dis-ease. Now, what I want to say to you is, as a mom, as a woman, you have to realize there's only so many sockets, only so many plug entrances that will give you power. After that, you're on borrowed time. So the next time, and what I do typically, you all don't know what I do, but as women under construction, we use tools and home repair to parallel life issues. So I want you all to picture a power strip that's got too many plugs. So the next time you go home, everybody have a power strip at home? I want you to think of yourself as that and say, I'm not going to put too many plugs in this time. Because sometimes it can be money, it can be your kids, it can be whoever. Too much in the power strip. And what do you need to do? Unplug. Unplug. Okay, what's the next one as we tie this thing up? 7. Yes, ma'am. Oh, there it is.
Pull the plug.
Pull the plug. Okay, somebody give me some ideas of how you pull the plug. Okay, we're going to talk about that.
Learn how to say no.
Okay.
And don't give your child no more money after they get past.
All right, okay. And then, yeah.
They cannot have your paycheck if they
She said they cannot have your paycheck if they think about which of those plugs needs to be undone. Okay? I promise you, if you start unplugging some stuff, you're going to have more power to do those things that you need to do. Because sometimes it's just busy work, right? Sometimes you're just busy being busy. And how much of that busy work is actually productivity? Okay? All right. And now as we wind down, who's got my 8?
Oh, dog.
Dark. Okay. We need to light up. Can you turn my lights out? Oh. He's like, what? Okay. All right. So, the darkness. The darkness. Well, okay, right? we got sound effects too. I love this. I love this. Okay. All right. So the dark, when you disconnect. All right. And what was that again? Disconnect. What was it? Dark? Was it dark? It was dark. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So when we think of the dark, we think sometimes of solitude. We think of loneliness, and I bet not have the dark too long because y'all will be asleep.
Yep.
All right. So we think of downtime. We think of time of reflection. But I want you all to think of the dark as, guess what's next? The light. I want you to think of your dark times as, guess what's next? The light. All right, Michael, you can turn us back on. Now, in our final ones, who's got one? Who's got after dark? 10. Oh, you got 10. You got 10. 9. Who's got 9? 9. The cost. Okay. Now, when it comes to power, how many of you all know Alabama power is not free? Okay. Power, ladies, power is what? It's expensive. Yeah, it is. So if Alabama power is expensive, how much more expensive is yours?
Priceless.
It's price. I love that. It's priceless. Now, let me ask some real deep questions. There's a cost to power. Anybody ever feel like someone has stolen your power? Okay, how many of you all will actually be honest and say, I know that at some point somebody stole my power? Yep. In some cases, I gave it away. Free! Free! Okay, but somebody stole my power. So what I want to say to you, can I have that cost back? Just like Alabama power, there's a cost to this, ladies. And there are some things that we need to do as women to not give our power away. Okay? And I'm going to talk about those things as we end. What's my number 10? 10. I just want to do 2 things, and that is, and I know we're ending up because our babies are coming in. Number 1, I want us to say no. Say no. No. That means we don't give our power away. Okay? Number 2, I want you to say yes. Say yes. Say yes. You know what you're saying yes to? No. All right. You're saying yes to giving yourself permission to hold on to your power. Uh-oh. Okay. And number 3, I want you to put power back into what you're dreaming. Put power back into your dreaming. Put power back into your dreaming. Whatever it is that you desire to do, put some power back into it. And then 4, turn the power back on to the woman that you are. Turn the power back on to the woman that you are. Not anybody else's woman, but yours. You are accountable to you first, to God first, and then to yourself, and then to everybody else. Because as you all saw in the pictures earlier, there's a woman with the oxygen mask on when you're in the plane, and they tell you, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Because if you don't, you won't be able to help anybody else. And that's not being selfish. That's just preserving yourself so that you can help somebody else. And the last thing I want to say is, again, there is a cost to everything that we do. There's a consequence to every single thing that we do, powerful. And I want to say to you again, this is the source For me, Christ is my source.
Yes.
He is my source.
Yes.
So that means no matter how down I get, I'm saying, okay, God. Okay, God. I'm all yours. You made me. I'm powerful or I'm not powerful because of you. And then this is me. I go on and I go off based on my circumstances. I'm just being honest. But I need to get out of that and just be on. No matter what my circumstances are. Right? And then this piece is the hot. This means this is always the hot. It doesn't go on, it doesn't go off, it's always hot. And you need to find yourself a place where it keeps you always on. Let's end this in prayer. God, we thank you, we bless you, God. We thank you for these words of wisdom, God. Thank you for who you are. Thank you that you are our source, no matter what, God. Lord, I pray that if anybody doesn't know you, God, they just got the word. They just got whatever it is that they needed. But for those of you who do, for those of them who do, Lord, I pray that you bless. Just bless the whole group, God. Bless their children even as they came in, God. I thank you for what you're doing and who you are. And I thank you that you are all powerful. Amen. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Our children have joined us, and we're so glad to see your smiling faces. You can keep your seats because we have surprises for all the little boys and girls, okay? And even those middle-aged boys and girls. It's a day that we celebrate all of you, everyone. I believe that being a mother is one of God's greatest God-given honors. A woman can embrace. You have to embrace it because it's an honor. Being a single mother is no less than a high honor. It is no less than a high honor. It is a high honor being a single mom, right? However, it comes with a tough task to satisfy and meet the demands of parenting, being your child's first teacher, being that leader and head of household, being that leader in the workplace, at church, in the community, your education. On behalf of the Single Mothers Empowerment Board of Directors, we are honored with this opportunity to present the Single Mom Salute. The community, family, friends, everyone had an opportunity to nominate a deserving single mom, but add an S onto that, whom they admire or who has made a difference in the lives of others in the community. 2 deserving single moms will be recognized at this time. However, one is not here. So we are going to share with you and present to the single mom who is here and give her what is due to her. The nomination came in and I read, "Let me tell you about Jenny Clark of Birmingham. When she was pregnant with her second child, she and her husband separated and divorced. While she always assumed she'd marry again, later she felt called by God to be a foster mother to a child with special needs. That second marriage has yet to happen, but she has found perhaps a higher calling. As a foster mom, she found herself fostering medically fragile children with Down syndrome and ended up adopting 2 precious little boys with Downs. Jenny calls JoJo and Z her twins, not by birth, but by the great gift of adoption. She has fostered countless others and sometimes been their caregivers as they took their last breath. I am not inspired by Hollywood heroes nor sports heroes. I am inspired
inspired by Hollywood heroes nor sports heroes, but I am inspired by Jenny Clark. She is my hero. She loves children who might be considered less lovable, adoptable, and difficult to care for. For Z, he likely would have lived without Jenny. He had a long list, pardon me? For Z, he likely would not have lived without Jenny. He had a long list of medical needs, including being fully ventilator dependent, tracheostomy, gastrostomy, chronic respiratory failure, AV canal defect, tetralogy of Fallot, pulmonary hypertension, developmental delay, hypothyroidism, and polysplenia. Are you scared yet? Yet she took this child, fostered him, and loved him so much, she made it permanent. She's been through many events since that time, including several open heart surgeries. Jenny says, when I met Z, my eyes were open to the great need for families who are willing to take on kids who have special needs and/or medical needs. I learned that many children are basically abandoned at the hospital because their parents are unable and unwilling to care for their often difficult needs. Many eventually are sent to a nursing home or do not survive. Jenny is making a difference as a single mom. She deserves any honor.
We agree. I'd like to ask you to come up. I'm sorry, it's just... I understand that Carol Evans, who nominated you, it's a community nomination. She knows of you. She perhaps has gone to church. Thank you so much. That's a hard goal, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm going to turn it over to see if you have some words to say. We present you, Anita presents with a bouquet of flowers. We also have a $50 gift card from Walmart to give you, and a treat that may be over there. Okay, but if you would say some words, you don't have to, but we just honor you. And we...
I wasn't planning on saying anything. No, I can. I just appreciate Carol for nominating me, and you guys for listening and for you reading that. I know that wasn't easy. This is a good start to what's going to be a very emotional week for me because, it's been almost a year since my foster son had Down syndrome and also a major heart defect passed away. But when I agreed to foster him, he was only about 14 months old, and they told me at the time that he would not live past the age of 3. And I thought how stupid to say yes to something like this, knowing that my older kids who are 13 and 11, that I'm going to put them through this, falling in love with this cute little boy and having to say goodbye to him and having to watch me stand on the stage at church and give his funeral. And it was awful. However, when you give God your yes, even when it's hard, He can take it and do amazing things. His birth parents had lost all of their children, 7, including Elin, the one that I cared for, and lost all of them. They were in foster care all in different places. And a little over a year ago, when we had his memorial service, I told him from that stage that the only thing that he wanted, because he's healed and whole and happy now. He's running free in the streets of heaven and is probably not even looking back at us, this awful world. But I told them on that day what he wanted now more than anything, because he doesn't need anything, is just to see his family again someday in heaven and to see his family united again. And in this past year, they've come to know the Lord. They've gotten all their kids back.
Stay right there. If I can just mention to you that.
I didn't mean to give a sermon.
Oh, no. We all have it. Our sermon, right? But I just want to thank you and applaud you for all that you do. We all do. We have the bouquet. We have a certificate. It's back there. And I misread. We have one salute this morning, this afternoon, and it is Jenny Clark. Ruby. Yes, Ruby is standing by with some goodies here for the kids. Is that right? Okay.
Well, you know, before we bring up the kids, let's do a couple door prizes. How about that? Also, at the table for Tara Dorsey, the winners that she pulled, if you are here, Jerica Jenkins, are you in the building? Okay, you need to go back after the conference to pick up your prize. Lavornia Johnson? I'm sorry. Lavinia, you have one. You can pick up your prize afterwards. And AZZY? AZ? All right. So afterwards, you guys can go back by her table and pick up your prizes. That was at the real estate, Miss Tara Dorsey, where you guys entered and filled out the cards. All right, door prize time. I'm not looking. The last 3 digits. 5, 1, 6. All right. All right, one more. Let's see what we got. 5, 2, 7. 5, 2, 7. 5, 2, 7 going once. Going twice. Gone. All right. Let's see, from Pink Zebra, $25. 50. Did I just go on 509? Woo!
All right. Staring at it, making sure it's
All right. Let's see, for this wonderful basket. 5, 2, 0.